In this video, I'm going to go through a few quick tips on how you can have a successful run in We Who Are About to Die. Let's jump into it right now. The first tip is getting your stamina up as fast as you can in this game. When you start out, you don't start with a ton of stamina, and it is the most important stat in the game. If you want to see what your character's stamina is, you can go to the character screen here on the career management, and you can see maximum stamina is 135. I try to rush as fast as possible to get this number up to about 200. And the way to do that is with training. It might sound crazy, but what I recommend and what I do on all my runs now is right out of the gate, the first thing I do is I train. I set this to stamina, right? So we have this on stamina. I don't worry about the secondary focus. And you'll see you lose 40% of maximum stamina for that week. Just keep on doing it. It's worth it. You just have to be a little careful in your first few fights, but those stamina numbers will climb really, really fast. It costs about, I think, five gear so that you can do this, but it is absolutely 100% worth it in the end, and it will make your future fights that much easier if you have your stamina up. Tip number 2, stamina regen. That number can be found in the top here, right beside your player's name, and right now it's 109.2%, which is really high. My recommendation is to not let this number go below 80% in the early game stages until you really get rolling with your character and get some strong weapons. One of the ways to keep this number high is you do not need to wear boots. Trust me on this, you do not need boots. Do not buy them. If you have them on your starting character, just remove them. All that's going to do is all they do is just remove more stamina regen. If you're running sword and shield, you don't need left arm armor. You don't need anything on there because your shield's doing all the work for you. Trust me on that as well. Please trust me on that. It will help you with your stamina regen a lot. Tip number 3, another way that you can make sure that you have a very good start to your run is to invest in heirloom in your previous run. So it costs 1,000 gold and 10,000 fame, and your next character inherits the item in the first auxiliary inventory slot. So the way that works is that when you unlock heirloom, whatever you've got placed down in here, it will say heirloom here, and when you die or retire, it will pass whatever item, whether it's armor or a weapon, to the next character. In this case, I have passed on this sturdy iron Talus Daka. So this character is going to start with a sword that is significantly better than what they normally would start with, the Rusty Puku. That will make my early game fights much, much easier. A quick note though, if you are working towards unlocking legacies or something like that, or you're going for a specific character, if you are re-rolling characters in the character select screen, it will remove your heirloom if you don't take the first offered character. So keep that in mind. One of the best ways to make some money in the game, especially in the early game, so that you can get better gear, better weapons, is to take advantage of bets. And when you click down here, I didn't know where this was, so that's why I'm adding this as a tip, because I didn't know where it was for a while playing the game. So you can show it. It'll give you some random bets that you can try and accomplish. Only take bets. I only recommend taking bets that you know that you can get done. Like if you're confident that you're running a weapon that can get dismembers, well then 1 dismemberment is probably a good bet. You could do that. If you're fighting a team of 8 and you think you're going to be able to kill 5, that's a really nice payout. So don't take bets that you can't get. I will say that if you re-roll this, it will give you different fights here. It will also give you different bets that you can place. So keep that in mind. But that is a great way to make some extra money early in the game. And for my last tip, I'm going to tell you not to shy away from 1 versus many fights. You can make a lot of money really early in the game if you take some risk. And you haven't invested a lot of time, so if you do happen to die, it's not the end of the world, you just start a new character. But this is where you make the big money early in the game, and then all it takes is 1 or 2 of these fights, and you are good to go. We're going to do this fight. I'm going to do this fight in the tip video because I'll show you my another tip on how to actually handle a one versus many fight. You don't have to fight them directly. That's one of the main things, is to remember that friendly fire is a thing in We Who Are About to Die. And there's no shame. There is no shame. Don't let your friends or anybody or your family shame you into thinking that there's shame in letting the other enemies do some work on each other. They will damage each other. You can see I'm just backing up. Because these guys are all just in a big clump, right? You have to remember that. They just kind of go into a big clump. They'll do damage to each other throughout this. You can see there's guys back there staggering all over the place. They're smacking each other. You can even kind of, in some ways, almost bait them into hitting each other at times. But yeah, the main thing I think for a one versus many is to just keep on moving around in a circle. Backpedal a bit. Let these guys do some work on each other. Manage that stamina, right? I'm just kind of swinging, letting it go. I'm not taking that much damage, especially since we came in versus 8. 8 is what I wanted to show, actually, because we just want to make sure that we can show that it's really not that hard to do. I'm only, I think, a level 3 fighter, and this is a level 6 fight. But the payout is going to be worth it early game. We'll be able to buy whatever we want. We want a fancy weapon. You can get a fancy weapon. Sure, the fight might take a few minutes, but it's not that bad. There, that guy just knocked that other guy's helmet right off of his head. So you can just keep on working it around. It takes a while to do a 1v8, but the payout is definitely worth it. And again, you can see we've barely taken any damage there. That guy just got... There's all that damage again. We'll just keep on backing away. Let them do some work on each other. And this isn't... It doesn't even have to be a 1v8. You can do this 1 versus 2. They'll still gonna whack each other, right? There, he just killed that guy. I will do another video with more advanced combat techniques and things like that if people are interested. But this was just so that you could see I didn't have to work that hard to win that fight. And we get all kinds of spoils from it in the early game. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what else you would like to see in We Who Are About to Die. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a fantastic day.